Cardfight Vanguard Days 2.
Greetings! Mantare79 here, and welcome back to another deck profile video for Cardfight Vanguard Days 2. Alrighty, let's get started. Pressing the A button now. Loading the game and proceeding. Here we are in the main menu and off to deck build menu. Here we are in the deck build menu, and now in today's video, the deck profile I'm giving you one for is a vintage formats, Kagero's, Embodiment of Victory, Aleph, BT01. Alright, so let's head on over to the edit deck menu and going in. And here we are in the edit deck menu, and like I just mentioned before, the deck I'm building this deck profile video is a vintage formats, Kagero's, Embodiment of Victory Aleph deck, made of cards only available up until BT01. Then already, let's get started. First up, the first Vanguard. And now for the first Vanguard. For the first Vanguard, we are playing the Great Zero. Lizard Soldier Conroe, starting unit. Skills, first skill, auto. When another Kagero rises unit, you may call this guard to the rearguard circle. Second skill, actions of rearguard, cost, counterblast 1 and retire this unit. If the cost is paid, search your deck for up to one Great 1 or less Kagero, reveal it to your opponent, put in the hand, and shuffle your deck. And already the Great Zero, Lizard Soldier Conroe, starting unit, we have one in the deck. First Vanguard. Already, with that, we covered the deck's first Vanguard. Next, let's get on over to the Great 3 lineup. And now for the Great 3 lineup. For the Great 3s in this deck, we are playing the Great 3. Dragonic Overlord. Skills, first skill, continuous as a Vanguard or Rearguard. If you do not have a Kagero Vanguard or Rearguard, this unit gets minus 2,000 power. Second skill, actions of Vanguard or Rearguard. Cost, counterblast 3. If the cost is paid until end of turn, this unit gets plus 5,000 power and gets auto as a Vanguard or Rearguard. When this unit attack hits an opponent's Rearguard, stand this unit and it loses Twin Drive. Alright, the Great 3 Dragonic Overlord. We have two in the deck. Next, the Great 3 Embodiment of Victory Aleph. Skills, first skill, actions of Vanguard or Rearguard. Cost, counterblast 4. If the cost is paid, this unit gets plus 3,000 power, plus 1 critical until end of turn. Second skill, actions of Vanguard. Cost, choose a card named Dragon Knight Aleph, a card named Embodiment of Honor Bar, and a card named Embodiment of Spear Tar from your soul and put them into the drop zone. If the cost is paid, turn all of the cards in your damage zone face up. And okie dokie, the Great 3 Embodiment of Victory Aleph. We have 3 in the deck. And here we have the Great 3 Vortex Dragon. Skills, first skill, auto as a Vanguard. At the beginning of your main phase, Soul Charge 1. And this unit gets plus 2,000 power until end of turn. Second skill, actions of Vanguard or Rearguard. Cost, Soul Blast 8 and Counterblast 5. Mega Blast. If the cost is paid, choose up to 3 of your opponent's Rearguards and retire them. And affirmative, the Great 3 Vortex Dragon. We have 3 in the deck. With that, we've covered the deck's Great 3 lineup. Next, let's get on to the Great 2 lineup. And now for the Great 2 lineup. For the Great 2s in this deck, we are playing the Great 2 Berserk Dragon. Skill, auto, cost, counterblast 2. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle or Rearguard Circle, if you have a Kagero Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose an opponent's Great 2 or less Rearguard and retire it. And alright, the Great 2 Berserk Dragon. We have 3 in the deck. Over here, the Great 2 Dragon Knight Aleph. Skill, actions of Vanguard, cost, counterblast 1, and choose a unit named Embodiment of Arbor Bar and a unit named Embodiment of Spear Tar from your rearguard circles and put them into your soul. If the cost is paid, search your deck for up to one card named Embodiment of Victory Aleph, write it, and shuffle deck. Okay, the Great 2 Dragon Knight Aleph. We have 3 in the deck. Next, the Great 2 Dragon Knight Nahalem. We have 4 in the deck. And over here, the Great 2 Wyvern Strike Tejas. Skill, continuous as a Vanguard or Rearguard. If this unit will attack, it may instead attack an opponent's unit in the back row of the same columns as unit. And affirmative, the Great 2, Wyvern Strike Tejas. We have 2 in the deck. And at that, we covered the deck's Great 2 lineup. Next, let's get on to the Great 1 lineup. And now for the Great 1 lineup. For the Great 1 says that we are playing the Great 1, Wyvern Guard Buri, Sentinel Perfect Guard. Skills, first skill, Continuous Sentinel. You may only up to 4 cards of Continuous Sentinel deck. Second skill, Auto. Cost, choose a Kagero from hand discarded. When this unit is placed on the Guardian Circle, you pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your Kagero being attacked, and that unit cannot be hit until end of battle. Alrighty, the Great 1, Wyvern Guard Buri, we have 4 in the deck. Next, the Great 1, Embodiment Armor Bar, we have 4 in the deck. Next, the Great 1, Dragon Monk Gojo. Skill, action is a Vanguard or Rearguard. Cost, rest this unit, and choose a card from hand discarded. If the cost is paid, draw a card. Okie dokie, the Great 1, Dragon Monk Gojo, we have 3 in the deck. And over here, the Great 1, Wyvern Strike Jaren. Skill, auto as a rearguard. When this unit boosts a card named Wyvern Strike Tejas, the boosted unit gets plus 4,000 power until end of battle. And affirmative, the Great 1, Wyvern Strike Jaren, we have 2 in the deck. And at that, we covered the deck's Great 1 lineup. Next, let's get on to the Great 0 lineup. And now for the trigger lineup. For the triggers in this deck we are playing, the Great 0. Demonic Dragon Mage Rakshasa critical trigger. Skill, auto as a rear guard. During your main phase, when an opponent's rear guard is put into drop zone, this unit gets plus 3,000 power until end of turn. And already the Great 0, Demonic Dragon Mage Rakshasa critical trigger. We have 4 in the deck. Next up, the Great 0. The Embodiment Spear Tar critical trigger. We have 4 in the deck. Over here, the Great 0, Dragon Dancer Monica draw trigger. We have 4 in the deck. And last but not least, the Great 0, Dragon Monk Genjo heal trigger. We have 4 in the deck. For the trigger line of this deck we are playing, 8 critical triggers, 4 draw triggers, and 4 heal triggers. With that, I've covered the deck's trigger lineup. And if that deck's been built, Cardfight explains, for the cards in this deck we are playing, the 1, Great 0, Lizard Soldier Conroe, starting unit. 2, Great 3, Dragonic Overlords. 3, Great 3, Embodiment Victory, Aleph. 3, Great 3, Vortex Dragon. 3, Great 2, Berserk Dragon. 3, Great 2, Dragon Knight Aleph. 4, Great 2, Dragon Knight Nahalem. 2, Great 2, Wyvern Strike Tejas. 4, Great 1, Wyvern Guard Buri. 4, Great 1, Embodiment Armor Bar. 3, Great 1, Dragon Monk Gojo. And 2, Great 1, Wyvern Strike Jaren. Then for the triggers in this deck we are playing, 8 critical triggers, 4 draw triggers, and 4 heal triggers. Alrighty, deck built, Cardfight explained. Next, let's get on to testing out the deck. And at that, here we are in the main menu. Next, let's get on to testing out the deck. So heading over to the fight menu. Here we are in the fight menu, off to CPU fight. Next, we go to, in the CPU fight menu, we go to standard format to vintage format. Next, we select the deck I just showcased to you, the Kagero's Embodiment of Victory Aleph BT01 deck. Yup, the deck all looks fine from this side, so selecting the deck, use this deck, and next let's select our opponent to test it out on. I'm going to challenge, I think, Masaru Kita, Spike Brothers, hard difficulty. My deck selected, opponent selected. Let's get started, selecting the fight button and clicking it now. The battle begins. Let's get started. Here we are in the fight. We're gonna decide who goes first. So rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Scissors to rock. I lose, going second. Drawing our starting hands. I got myself a bar, Aleph, critical trigger, Tejas, and bar. Not too shabby. Hold on to everything but the trigger. Redraw. A heal trigger. Oh, come on. Stand and draw. My opponent rides the Great One. Wonder Boy. He calls to the back row his Mecha Trainer. And of his turn, my turn. Draw. Come on, you couldn't be Tar. If I had drawn the critical trigger Tar instead of Rakshasa, I could have superior rolled my Aleph. I'll just have to get lucky. I call Bar to the rear guard. Calling, hold on, activating my Conroe skill, moving to back row. To the back row you go. And calling one more Bar. Now I'll do it. To the battle phase we go. Bar to the Vanguard. 8k. D-Tack goes through. Flash. Damage check. No trigger. Safe. Now boosted by Conroe. Go. Bar. 13k. D-Tack goes through. Drive check. Perfect guard. Not too shabby. 1 damage. And slash. Damage check. Yes, critical trigger. 1 less trigger to worry about. I think the next turn, if I have a counterblast, 2 counterblasts, I can use them to use Conroe's skill and Ollie's to superior route to grade 3. He's riding to grade 2. Black Panther. No, he's using his starter skill to search his deck for a Great One. What's he gonna add? The Great One? Dudley Dan. Dudley Dan, huh? He'll be able to boost and superior call of a booster. He calls to the rear guard. The Grade 2 Devil Summoner. Top card is a Grade 3. Yes, he cannot superior call. Lucky. He calls to the rear guard and calls. He calls to the back row a Cyclone Blitz. 14,000 power. No guard. Gonna take it. Drive check. Critical trigger. Lucky him. Critical to Vanguard and power to rear guard. 2 damage to me. Come on, give me something. Ow. Damage check first. Yes, draw trigger. Just what I needed. Draw. Power to Vanguard. I drew in the Harlem. Nice. Here comes second check. Tar. Critical trigger. Come on, I need that. Here's gonna be, if he Soul Blasts, he can still get power. Here's 18,000, so I give all effects to the Vanguard. 18k. Attacking with 18k. Is he gonna use his skill? Nope, no skill, just guarding with. Rakshasa, 28k. D-Tack is blocked, and ka-chink. End of his turn, my turn, and draw. Another Nehalem, huh? I ride to the Vanguard. The Dragon Knight Aleph. Ride. Next, I use Conroe's skill, Counterblast. Counterblast and search for a Great One or less Kagero. Searching my deck for the Great Zero, critical trigger, Embodiment of Spear Tar. Adding to hand. Then I'm gonna call Tar to the rear guard. Call. Activating Aleph's skill, Counterblast. Moving Bar and Tar into the souls. And let's do this for my deck. Superior Ride, the Vanguard. The Embodiment of Victory, Aleph. Ride. Then I'm going to call Nehalem to the rear guard. Call. And Tejas to the rear guard. Call. Alright then. That ought to be enough. To the battle phase we go. First, Nehalem, attack his rear guard. Devil Summoner. No guard. And slash. 1 less rear guard to worry about. Now, Vanguard to Vanguard. 10k. D-Tack goes through. Twin Drive. First check. No trigger. Grade 3. Overlord. And second check. No trigger. Vortex Dragon. 2 grade 3s. Come on. 1 damage. Boom. Damage check. Yes, grade 3. Nothing to worry about now. Now, my Tejas attacks the back row. Cyclone Blitz. 8k to 6k. The attack goes through. And slash. One less rear guard to worry about. End of my turn. My opponent's turn. Here comes the grade 3. Juggernaut Maximum. Here is 15k to Vanguard. Skill of his back row. Dudley Dan. Counterblast is a pure call. Another Juggernaut. No guard. Taking it. First check. No trigger. And a second check. No trigger. And... Ow! Damage check. No trigger. I have no great ones to protect myself with. Here comes back row Juggernaut Maximum. Skill. Adding 5,000 power. Guarding with Gojo. Yep, guarding with Gojo. And the chink. Safe. Here comes Juggernaut skill, goes back to the deck. And their turn, draw. Fine. Skipping right phase, going to main phase. I am going to move my Tejas to the back row and calling Dragonic Overlord. Then I call to the rear guard. To the rear guard. Monica. Should I call it here or here? To the Vanguard or rear guard? Call it to rear guard just to be safe. To the battle phase we go. Go! Aleph to Vanguard. 10k. 1 to pass. Twin drive. First check. Another Aleph. Second check. Come on. Yes! Critical trigger. Just what I needed. All effects of Vanguard. Critical up and power up. And Pierce. Damage check first. Critical trigger. Come on. Now my remaining rear guards cannot attack. What a waste. And a second check. No trigger. This is gonna be rough. And nothing else I can do here. So end of my turn. My opponent's turn. Here comes the grade 3. Skydiver. He calls the grade 2 Panther. Vanguard to Vanguard, 15k. Skill of Dudley Dan. 2 more counter blasts. And Superior Call Juggernaut Maximum. No guard, gonna take it. First check. No trigger, grade 3. And a second check. No trigger, grade 2, safe. So the attack is 1 damage. Ow! Damage check. Draw trigger, just what I needed. I give it all to the Vanguard. I got bar, finally. Here comes attacking my intercept. No guard. Starting to haul him. Here comes Juggernaut Maximum. Skill, Soul Blasting, and adding power. No guard, gonna take it. Ow! Damage check. No trigger, perfect guard. That's the end of my opponent's turn. Now it's mine. Oh, hold on. Mugget Maximum goes back to deck of its own skill. My turn. Draw. Berserk Dragon, huh? Skipping right phase. Going to main phase. First, I activate my Overlord skill. Counterblast 3. 1, 2, and 3. And giving power to himself. Looking good. Then I'm gonna call a rear guard Aleph. And last but not least, I'm gonna call Bar to the back row. Call. That ought to be enough for the time being. Activating Aleph skill. Soul Blasting, Grade 2 Aleph, Bar, and Tar from the Souls. Plus power and critical to the Vanguard. Nope, not yet. I got a counter blast to activate his skill, so... I activate the rearguard Aleph, giving it the power and critical. Counter blast 4. Rearguard Aleph gets power and critical. That ought to do it. And to the battle phase we go. First, boosted by Bar, Vanguard to Vanguard, 18k. Double guard, 26k. 2 to pass, first check. No trigger, perfect guard. And a second check. Grade 3, come on. The attack fails. Overlord to the Vanguard, 16k. Critical trigger. The attack fails. Boosted by Monica. Go rearguard Aleph, 18k, 2 criticals. And perfect guard. For the perfect guard cost, he's discarding Grade 3. The attack may have failed, but now I still have plenty in my hand to guard with, and my opponent only has 0 cards and 2 rear guards, so main phase and battle phase. 11k to Vanguard, 15k, no counter blast for Dudley Dan's skills. Perfect guard, Wyvern Guard Buri. Perfect guard cost, I am discarding Aleph. The attack is blocked. His drive checks. First check. No trigger, grade 2, Bracky, and second check. Critical trigger, lucky him. It all goes for the rear guard. Okay, then. Kachink, survived. Here comes Black Panther. Guard with Rakshasa, 20k. And Kachink, safe. End of their turn, my turn. Draw. I can't really use my Aleph anymore, and even if I call Vortex and combine the bars 20,000 power, it wouldn't really make any difference to ride it now, so just gonna hold on to it for perfect guard fodder, skipping ride phase, going to main phase. And to the battle phase we go. Boosted by Bar, my Vanguard, hold on, no, Rearguard Overlord to the Vanguard Skydiver, 11k. Intercepting with Black Panther. Now boosted by Bar, go, my Vanguard Aleph. 18,000 power. Double guard, 15k, 26k. Twin drive, first check. Heal trigger, just what I needed. I heal 1 point of damage. Healing, giving power to the rear guard Aleph. 20,000. To that side, second check. No trigger, Berserk Dragon. The attack fails. Now boosted by Monica. Let's go Aleph. 20,000 power. Only 10,000 point shield can block it. And a critical trigger, 20,000 point shield. He got it. It's fine, he has no more counter blast and still no rear guards. I can still make it to my next turn and have 4 damage. Their turn, they're gonna main phase, battle phase. That's a 15,000 power to the Vanguard. Guard, guard, and guard. 30,000 power, none to pass. And first check. No trigger, grade 3, Juggernaut Maximum, and second check. Grade 1, Cyclone Blitz. The attack failed. Ka-chink. That's the end of my opponent's turn. My turn. Stand and draw. And declaring final turn. Skipping right phase, going to main phase. I call Buri over Monica. And I call Genjo over Tejas. That ought to be enough power. To the battle phase we go. Boosted by Bar, Vanguard to Vanguard, 18,000 power. Double guard for 16k. 2 to pass. First check. Critical trigger, just what I needed. I give it all to the rear guard Overlord. And a second check. No trigger, Vortex Dragon. Attack failed. 1 card left in hand. Boosted by Genjo. Go, Overlord. 21,000 power. 2 criticals. The attack goes through. And slash. Damage check first. No trigger. 6 damage. I win. That was a pretty good match. Despite some worries at the beginning, I still managed to draw all the cards I need to make this deck work for me, and I managed to eke out a win. So let's see, I got win, double trigger, perfect guarded, successful final turn, fought for 10 turns, superior cult, superior road, defeated the very hard mode, got 20-40 VP, and 1-2-4-3-0 total VP. Pressing A to go next, leaving the fight and returning to the fight menu. Here we are in the fight menu, leaving fight menu, and heading back to the main menu. Here we are in the main menu, and off to deck build menu. Here we are on the deck build menu, and if that, the deck's been built, card is explained, and I just finished testing the deck out in front of you. So first I want to say is thank you to the viewers for watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos I plan to upload in the near future. I also hope you all show support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my videos and channel. And with that I say goodbye and see you all soon.